ComputeThis.com. Schrock Innovations presents the Midwest's #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion. The number to join us on the program today is 888-250-2091. 888-250-2091. As we do every week, we will be giving away a free Schrock Innovations gift certificate, a $25 gift certificate to one lucky caller who calls in and either asks a question or makes a comment, is just a part of the program in some way. Trust me, people, I can talk for the whole hour. I really can. But you don't want to hear that. The callers make the program, and there's no such thing as a silly question. All right, so last week on the program, if you missed the show last week, it was a real good one. You might want to go check it out. It's archived on Facebook, of course, also on YouTube, as well as over on the Schrock Innovations website under the radio show tab there. But last week we told you about the impending release of the latest version of Windows 10, which has since come out. So it was impending, and it has impended. It is done. Version 2004 is out. Adobe had a huge out-of-band update that you needed to make sure you got installed on your computer to patch a whole bunch of vulnerabilities, like 53 of them. So we told you about that. Also, we told you if you really were into social distancing, how you could hang out with NASA in a giant bubble and pretend that you were going to Mars. And NASA's hiring for that. We told you how you can apply for that job if you're having trouble finding work. So, really, this is a whole life program. It touches every aspect of your being. But today on the program, the aspects of your being that we're touching today, Windows, as I mentioned, Windows 10 version 2004 has been released, and of course there are bugs. So if you're running Safe Upgrade, you don't have to worry about the bugs. If you're not running Safe Upgrade, if you're not able to detect the Windows 10 update yourself by checking for updates, you really don't want to force install it. Because there's something with your computer that is not going to run the update. So you definitely don't want to go through that potential problem if you're not quite ready for the issues that are going to come with it. Also coming up on the program today, you probably heard something about this during the week. Okay, so there's a big fight going on between Twitter and the president. Now, this is a family show, and this is a show for left and a show for right, so we try to stay out of the politics of this. So let's just pretend that it's some other president and some other media company, okay? But we're going to tell you what's going on with Twitter and President Trump to let you know what's happening, what Twitter is doing, why they say they're doing it, and how the president's responding and what we think is going to happen next with this. Some really interesting stuff, and there's implications for this that go far beyond anything that you might have considered yet. So we're going to talk about that on the program. Google Chrome is finally going to do something about notification spam. Don't you hate that? So you go to a website and it says, do you want to receive notifications from this website? And you click allow. And then all of a sudden, all day long, every 5 minutes, your computer's dinging with a notification that something is happening somewhere, or that this website has posted a new article, or this blog you looked at 5 years ago has suddenly posted a new post about the latest iPhone that you're not going to buy. You don't care. But you get the notifications anyway, and it's really difficult to make them stop. Google Chrome is going to stop them for you starting in July, so we're going to tell you about that on the program. Also, heads up to website owners. If you are a business, and you have a website, or if you're an organization and you have a website, there are some important changes coming to website design and development next year. Now, the reason that I'm telling you about this now is next year, the reason that Google is putting these off till next year is because it is going to upend your business. So Google is giving you a full 12 plus months to get in compliance with what they say the new rules are going to be, because if you don't, no one's going to find your website and your business will dry up. Because now Google is like the Yellow Pages. If you rely on new customers to come into your business, which what business doesn't, and you can't be found on Google, you're dead. Literally, your business is dead. So this is something, if you own a business or an organization, anything that relies on a website, you're going to definitely want to be aware of what's happening here with this so that you can talk to your web people, because you should have web people if you have a website, and those web people should be on top of this. And if they are not on top of this, Schrock Interactive has web people for you. All right. 888-250-2091. So we're doing the Safe Upgrade installation. It was released last week in the middle of the week, as we expected. Of course, it was released at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so we ended up having to wait till the following day, which was actually a really good thing, because it takes time to download the whole update and then test it. We have to test it really thoroughly before we just decide to throw it out to you, and then we had to upload it. And that takes time as well. And we don't obviously want to launch an update when we're closed, because that would be a bummer, right? So we did quietly enable it, but we did not tell anyone to install it. The next morning, 10:30, after the morning rush was over, we said, let's go, let's do this. So far, we've had about 30% of Schrock customers who purchased Safe Upgrade have made an attempt to install it. There were some people that had some issues installing it. The biggest issue that we saw was that some people had not rebooted their computer since the last Windows update on Patch Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month. So Windows is pretty lenient. It's not going to force you to reboot your computer for about 30 days, but then it's going to do it for you. So you really need to reboot your computer before you run Safe Upgrade, because if you try to run it and install another update on top of updates that are not applied yet, it's going to fail, no matter how you do it. So we need to make sure that we get that taken care of. We have to get all of those updates installed by restarting the computer and then going through and doing Safe Upgrade. So if you've tried to run your Safe Upgrade and it hasn't worked, try restarting your computer and trying it again. We also implemented a new system this time around. This is the way things work at Schrock. We have two words in our name. There's Schrock, that comes from a long line of computer guys, not really, and then there's innovations, where we come up with cool new ideas and then say, ooh, let's do that now. And one of the biggest benefits of having a small business or a local business is that you can move so much faster than larger competitors. So on Thursday afternoon, the thought occurs to me. I wake up in the morning and I say, some people are going to install Safe Upgrade and they're going to have an issue. Wouldn't it be amazing if we knew who was having a problem before they became like completely despondent with rage and called us? Wouldn't that be neat? Can we do that? In some cases, we sure can. In fact, we can see how many times you've attempted to install the software, because you have to type in your username and your password when you install it. And every time you try to run it, it puts a little tick in your account, basically. So I can see, for example, that Athena I said that wrong, Aletha from Omaha has tried to run her software 3 times. She bought 2 licenses, though. So she has 2 computers that she's updating, but she's only attempted to install it on 1 computer. So that means she's tried 1 computer 3 times and it's not working. So why don't we give her a call and say, hey, we noticed you were having some trouble getting Safe Upgrade installed. Can we help you, please? And the response has been phenomenal. I mean, it's just one of those little small things that we're trying to do to make sure that we maintain our position as a service leader. Everybody else is going to let you install the software. I think the record I've seen so far is like 18 tries. Somebody tried to install it 18 tries. And I think at that point, after 18 attempts, you might have called us because you did 18 attempts. You must have been running it continuously since the launch. So far about 30% of people have actually attempted to run the software, which means 60% of you have not even tried yet. Now, I know that there was a lot going on the last couple evenings, that maybe you were out. Maybe there was, you haven't been out in a while, trying to think, maybe you went out to eat or, went downtown, perhaps. So if that's the case, and I'm not just talking about Omaha, because downtowns were hopping in every city where we have a presence. Des Moines was nuts last night. Omaha was nuts last night. Lincoln was even nuts last night. So long story short, guys, if you haven't gotten around to it, now is the time to run the software. So we get a Facebook post and we boosted it to make sure that any of our Facebook followers, we boosted it specifically to people who like our page. So if you don't like our page, you probably didn't see that boosted post, because we made the logical assumption that customers who bought Safe Upgrade would be people who liked our page. So we boosted it there rather than boosting it to the entire city. That didn't make any sense. We wanted a really nice concentration to people that we knew purchased it. Secondly, we sent out an email to everybody saying, hey, it's time to go. Let's get this started. So if you didn't get that email and you use Gmail or Hotmail or something like that, you're going to need to save. We send these emails under my personal email address, so that if you reply to the emails, I actually get your email, and I do my best to respond to all of them myself. If I get overwhelmed, I might send them off to staff to respond to, because there's just, there's only one of me. And, we offer the new web support feature too, where you could go on our website and chat with us. And so I was actually troubleshooting, I think was it Thursday afternoon. I was responsible for the web chat. So you were chatting with me on Thursday if you were chatting, and I had 5 different customers going at the same time, helping them with various aspects of installation. Okay, here's how you install it, guys. You go to SchrockInnovations.com and you log into your Schrock account. Up in the top right corner, you click Login. Don't accidentally hover around to I'm going to get Alfonso to fix that the microscope or the magnifying glass thing. That search bar expands out and shrinks down, and it's supposed to be a really cool feature, but it's really tough if you're trying to click Login and you miss by a little bit. So click Login, log into your Schrock account. Go to Downloads on the left side, and you have to download the software to your computer. There's a link. You click it, and it saves it on your computer. And then I had people contacting me saying it's not doing anything. And so I had to tell them to go ahead and double click it to run it. Oh, okay. So they ran it. And they said, well, now it's asking for my username and my password. And then they had to put in their username and password. The other thing that we saw as an issue is if you have Secure Updater on your computer, make sure that your Secure Updater is actually running before you launch the update. Because for whatever reason, sometimes people close out of Secure Updater. But if your Secure Updater is not running at the time that you run Safe Upgrade will try to give you an extra 15-day trial to Secure Updater, thinking that you don't have it running on your computer. But you already have it on your computer, so the trial fails, because you can't get a free trial when you already have the product. It's like when you go to the bratwurst case and you buy the bratwurst, but then there's the free sample lady around the corner and she says, why would I give you a free sample? You already have the bratwurst in your cart. Well, it's a similar thing. You don't get a free sample once you purchase the product. So make sure your product is running. If you have trouble with the trial installation, it's because your Secure Updater is not running. And of course, people didn't know their passwords, so I was helping people reset passwords. Lots of little things. The Safe Upgrade software itself worked like a dream, but getting people to the point where it would run, with the reboots and making sure Secure Updater was running and stuff like that, was a little challenging at times. But we got a lot of people through it. 30% of the people through it. Of those people, I don't know, I dealt with 5 or 6 people that had issues that were, weirdly ranging. The service centers actually we had everybody staffed up, because the other thing this allowed me to see is how many people were having trouble with it at a given point in time, which allows me to better determine staffing, and it was broken down by location, so I know how many Lincoln customers were having trouble. For some reason, more Lincoln customers had trouble than anybody else. Omaha customers did great. Papillion customers did great. Lincoln customers had a little bit of trouble. Des Moines customers did great. I don't know what the deal was, but the Lincoln Service Center kept their staffing. Everybody else actually staffed down a little bit the last couple of days because there wasn't a lot of problems with the software. So it worked out really, really well. But there are some things going on today with this Windows update that are issues. For example, Microsoft has identified 10 specific problems that they know are happening right now for people who install this on their computer. One of the reasons why I have not installed it on my personal laptop is because the individual wireless chipset that I have in my laptop, the Bluetooth, which of course I use for headphones and microphones and Zoom meetings and things like that, is not compatible. There's a driver problem. So if you try to force the installation of this software onto your computer with an incompatible driver, all of your Bluetooth stuff will stop working, which is going to be rather inconvenient on Monday morning. Therefore, if you're running Safe Upgrade and it's going to cause a problem, it won't install. Period. That's why we call it Safe Upgrade. If it does install and there's some issue, we can always roll it back. But for the most part, we haven't had anybody who's had to roll it back. And for the most part, the installations after they're completed have been perfectly smooth. So this is a good update. There's a lot going on here. Microsoft actually removed Cortana from this update. So yes, Cortana has been removed from your computer with this update. But if you miss the voice of the Master Chief's assistant, she is still available. You can download her as a specific app from the Windows Store. So you can still get it, but it's just cleaning up, removing some things a little bit, tweaking some things, a lot of under the hood stuff, but not so much the stuff that you see. So basically what Microsoft is saying is right now, if you go to Windows Update and you click check for updates and you don't see that they have the feature update available for your computer, you probably shouldn't install it. Now with Safe Upgrade, we have these exceptions programmed into the software. So if you use Safe Upgrade to install and Safe Upgrade allows you to continue and go forward, you're okay to continue and go forward. So it's a pretty neat thing, whereas Microsoft is going to err on the side of absolute massive caution because they don't want to have a huge uprising on the internet of people saying, oh, it blew up my computer. They don't want that. So they're going to err on the side of caution. We're going to err on the side of, is it going to work or is it not going to work? And once we know what the problems are, we can make sure that Safe Upgrade doesn't upgrade people that are going to have problems. We haven't seen a single computer with problems after the update so far. So that's pretty good stuff there. 888-250-2091 are the numbers to join us on the program. Now that we have fulfilled some of those Safe Upgrade licenses, guys, they are available again for sale over at SchrockInnovations.com. So if you have not purchased your copy of Safe Upgrade, you do need one per computer. It's $50 per computer. This is a do-it-yourself at-home upgrade. Of course, the Microsoft update itself is free. You can get that from Microsoft for free. You do not have to pay for it. Safe Upgrade gives you an insurance policy that if something goes sideways or something goes wrong, which it does 20% of the time, you've got somebody there to help you out and have your back without running up a couple $100 repair bill. 888-250-2091. That's, of course, available at SchrockInnovations.com. Got to take our first break of the program. When we come back, Trump versus Twitter. What happened? What's going to happen? And why is it going to happen? We're going to tell you the implications of what's going on that go well beyond social media, coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations Data Recovery Lab saves the data the other guys can't. The next time your hard drive, camera card, or flash drive fails, let Schrock get your data back. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute This Pro Tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from driveadvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noises, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try to use it, the worse the damage becomes. Remember that most computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Opened drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks. Thanks for joining us this morning on Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock, and I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. A lot of people think that all we do is fix computers. We do a whole lot more than that at Schrock. We build new computers. We have our modular desktops, our solid-state laptops. We build websites for businesses. We have corporate service agreements available for businesses as well that we help you solve some of those problems that your other IT guys might not. There's this weird in-between place for businesses where when you're a small business, Uncle Billy can come and do your tech and everything is fine. But then you start to grow and all of a sudden Uncle Billy's workarounds don't work around so well. And you try to bring somebody else in. So you call one of these big IT companies and they tell you it's going to be like $10,000 a month and you need to buy 50 grand in hardware. And you're like, well, I can't afford that. So I guess Uncle Billy it is. Well, now you've got another option besides super duper expensive IT company and Uncle Billy. That's Schrock Innovations, where we tell you exactly what it's going to cost you for a year to run your IT equipment in your office. We can give you a number that you can budget that is actually affordable, starting at only $275 per computer per year. So think about that. You have 2 or 3 computers in your business. It's sub $1,000 for your IT for the year. It's a pretty impressive deal over at Schrock. So we do everything over there. If it touches a computer in some way, we've got our hands on it over at Schrock. Numbers to join us on the program, 888-250-2091. You've probably heard a little bit about what's going on with Trump and Twitter and everything like that. So I wanted to take a moment to explain this a little bit and tell you guys how this has the potential to go well beyond a Twitter spat. So basically, as we know, President Trump makes bigly use of Twitter, and tweets about everything. He tweeted the other day when the CNN Center got vandalized. Oops, because CNN was, as he put it, encouraging the protesters, and then they trashed the CNN Center. So you can't control a mob, I guess. Then they were trying to trash the White House yesterday, but they controlled that mob. So oops, I don't know. So when you're on Twitter and you're tweeting things, Twitter was never intended to be a platform by which public policy was disseminated. It was a conversation platform. And of course, everything with social media has evolved since it started. Twitter has a belief that it is their responsibility to ensure that the information people read on their platform is true and accurate. Therefore, when you or I post something that is, considered a conspiracy theory or not true, or we tell everybody on our Twitter feed that the Earth is certainly flat. We can prove this for a fact because of the two suns, and if you look through the two sunglasses at the two suns, you can see the fake sun. All the stupid stuff that you see comment trolls writing. If you post that to Twitter, Twitter's going to put a fact check on that and tell people it's not true, so that you can look like an idiot, and Twitter will tell everyone basically you're an idiot. The problem is it's difficult to do that to the President of the United States. So Twitter, rather than doing that, put a public notification on his tweets that said some of the stuff that Trump says is not true, basically, or is factually questionable. But we believe it's in the best public interest to leave this tweet up because it adds to the public discussion. So in other words, it's back to the original. We let people look stupid if they want to look stupid. One person's stupid is another person's brilliant, right? And that's the way it should be. But the problem is they shouldn't have to put a label on it at all. And it really enraged President Trump when he put a label on his tweets saying that they might not be true. And so he has signed an executive order that is going to strip that intends to, and it's not going to happen. You can't really do this through executive order, but that seeks to strip the protections that internet media companies have. You see, when you post something on Facebook, Facebook can't be sued for what you post. Now, the difference, though, is if you go online to a radio station website and you post comments on their website, and it gets a little grayer because the radio station has the ability to censor your posts. They can choose which posts to publish and which posts not to publish. When you send a letter to the editor at the newspaper, they can choose to publish that or not. If they do publish something that is not factual or defamatory or, in some way libelous, they can be sued. But you can't sue Twitter. You can't sue Facebook. You can't sue Google because all the things that are posted are not their responsibility. That's this protection that he's trying to strip away. If you successfully strip that away, the consequences go well beyond presidential tweets. For example, imagine you're a small business and somebody writes let's say you're a plastic surgeon and you do a nose job on somebody and they come out looking like Frankenstein. And then they write a bad review. And then in their review, they say, well, I look like Frankenstein because this guy can't see straight because he has a bad eyeglass prescription. And the business owner says, I don't have a bad eyeglass prescription. I'm going to sue you. Not you, the customer. I'm going to sue you, the review website. So businesses could sue Google for fake reviews. You could see reviews disappearing from the internet because you could see Airbnb could get sued because they provide reviews from other people of properties. And if the property owner doesn't like the review they get, they can sue Airbnb because they'll say it's factually not correct, and Airbnb will have to defend all these lawsuits, and the end result is too much money will be spent, and they just say it's easier to just not have reviews. So all in all, guys, it's a really significant deal and something that we really need to pay attention to. Today's number to join us on the program, 888-250-2091. We got to take the bottom of the hour break, so get your potty breaks in, get your snacks, guys, because when we come back, We're going to jump into those phone lines first of all. Richard and Jack, we're going to get to your calls. Also, Google Chrome is killing notification spam in July. What does that mean to you? I can tell you for sure that some of you are getting these notifications across your computer, and it's going to be amazing when they go away. We're going to tell you all about it coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations repair technicians also make house calls. Make an appointment and let us bring our award-winning computer support right to your home or business. In 1798, Eli Whitney's Connecticut musket factory was the first business in North America to use replaceable parts in a firearm. Before Eli's factory, if your musket broke, you had to send it away to an expert gunsmith for repairs, or just toss it and buy a new musket. Technology manufacturing has come a long way since the 18th century, but you wouldn't know it by looking at today's big box store computers. Dell, HP, Sony, and other manufacturers continue to take away your freedom to upgrade and repair your computer by eliminating expansion and repair options. Some desktops are even powered by a tiny laptop adapter. Schrock Innovations believes in Eli Whitney's idea of interchangeable and replaceable components, and that's why our custom-built modular computers last longer and cost less to repair than computers you see at big box stores. Ask your friends and family how often they replace their box store computers, and they'll probably tell you every couple of years. And what do they do with the old machines? They just get thrown out like broken muskets. Imagine a place where your computer's problems can be fixed quickly and inexpensively. Imagine keeping your computer for 6 years or more. You are imagining the kind of computers we build every day at Schrock Innovations. Our modular systems last longer, perform faster, and cost less over the long term than anything you can buy at a big box store. While the talented technicians at Schrock Innovations can't make you a musket even if they tried, our commitment to the freedom offered by modular computers is the modern-day extension of Eli's innovative musket factory. We think Eli Whitney would be proud, and you can take pride in owning a small piece of American innovation, the modular computer from Schrock Innovations. Compute This Pro Tip 578. Technology is constantly changing, so how can you tell when the time has come to recycle your old outdated computer and invest in a new one? Experts have rules of thumb and formulas, but Schrock believes the answer is simple. You should replace your old computer when it can no longer do the things you need in a secure way. For example, you should not be using operating systems like Windows XP or Vista because they're no longer maintained by Microsoft and they're not secure. And if your computer cannot run Windows 10, it's probably time to begin saving for a replacement. If your existing computer requires a repair and that cost is 50% or more of the cost of a new computer, it might be time to consider a replacement. But keep in mind, additional costs like data transfers and important software you have to upgrade like genealogy software or Quicken. And also keep in mind that modern computers are engineered to last 18 months for a normal user. And don't worry, you are considered a normal user. Schrock modular PCs and solid-state laptops are specifically designed to last 4 to 6 years for that same normal user, saving your family money and time. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Carol McHugh. The rioting, looting, and burning has subsided considerably in Minneapolis several nights after George Floyd died while in police custody. But it's a very different story in Los Angeles.
Mayor Eric Garcetti calling in the National Guard for Los Angeles, something we're seeing other cities mull over, but he is definitely doing that. The other big story, the fires that are now sparking up throughout the city.
Fox's Jeff Paul. Dozens of cities across America plagued by rioting and violence. Much of it San Francisco will institute a curfew as well, beginning tonight at 8. New York City, which has seen some of its worst street violence in decades. The numbers alone tell the story. 47 police vehicles were damaged or destroyed. 33 cops were hurt. 345 arrests were made overnight. Even St. Patrick's Cathedral was targeted with spray-painted graffiti. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
We'll start Sunday with cloud cover and scattered rain chances that will push east by mid-morning. Bit more sunshine in store for the afternoon. It will be warmer and breezy with high temperatures in the mid-70s, and then we're talking 80s and 90s as we head into the upcoming work week. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Alrighty guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, where we do everything that we can do every single day that we do it. I was troubleshooting support for Facebook Messenger yesterday at 10 o'clock at night because I know when you're installing something like Safe Upgrade on your computer and there's an issue with it, you want to get it handled right away. So we did the last segment about the president's Twitter feed and everything else, and the whole point of that segment was Don't be so quick to strip these immunities. Yes, I don't like the social media companies picking and choosing who they're going to edit either. I don't like it. But, because, I mean, they've edited my family members before, believe it or not. I don't like it. But if you strip this away, it's going to have unintended consequences. So, for example, right as we were going into the break, after we hit the break, I looked through the comments on Facebook to try to respond to everybody who's taken time to say something to me. I want to try to at least click the like button or say something back to them. And there was a comment from a gentleman named Mustafa. No joke, that was the name, Mustafa. Railing about our horrible service, our cheap Asus computers, how I'm a typical millennial. Go figure that one out. I'm a straight up Gen Xer, my friend. I'm a typical millennial, promising a bunch of stuff and then delivering the barest minimum to get the job done. So I'm like, wow, okay. So I went into immediate, something went wrong here. This is service mode, right? Let's find out what went wrong with Mustafa. So I started typing, I'm sorry, you had a bad experience. I could have just deleted the comment. I could have just banned him, but he's a customer. He obviously bought a computer from us, right? Hold on, let me check on that. So I went back to our system and I looked, and we never sold a computer to Mustafa. Never. So Mustafa's comment was fake. It was defamatory, and I could sue Facebook for that if those protections are stripped away. So you could see how it would completely cripple Facebook's program, because Facebook, with an onslaught of people like Mustafa writing stupid fake stuff, comments on Facebook, they're going to get sued. And if they're going to get sued that much, they're just going to stop allowing you to stream live video because it's not worth the money. And then we don't have a live stream for the show. So you can see that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I'm saying be careful what you do with these protections, because Mustafa has the right to be a troll. He really does. And I have the right to handle him in the way that I'm handling him right now. I'm doing him a good one here, not giving out his last name. If it's even a real name, maybe he's a Russian troll. All right, numbers to join us on the program, 888-250-2091. We're going to jump into those phone lines real quick. Richard, thank you for your patience for waiting on hold there. I appreciate it. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to make a comment about yesterday. I was doing the safe upgrade, and I was having problems, so I called your store in Lincoln, and Nathan answered the phone and helped me through it, and it went through very good. I had no problems then after that, but I just want to let you know Nathan did a very good job, and he was really patient with me, because it took a little while to get through things. We had to go through settings and allow it to do the upgrade. But
gotcha. Well, thank you for taking the time to call me up and tell me that, Richard. I appreciate it, because one of the things Lincoln had more customers that had issues than any other service center, and so I'm looking at we can have up to 8 concurrent Schrock Desk sessions going at a time, and so I'm looking at the Schrock Desk sessions, and Lincoln, of course, has figured out how to game the system, because we can have 8 that we are connected to at one time. So they've got like 16 people on Schrock Desk, because the average Schrock Desk call for an install of this update is like almost 2 hours, because you have to download it and everything else. And so they get in there and they do everything, and then they leave the session, they leave it connected so they can jump back in, and then they move on to the next customer. So they literally had a line of like 16 people that they were doing Schrock Desk for, and I was impressed with the ingenuity there to make sure that they could get around that little limitation of 8 at a time by only servicing 8 at a time, and then jumping in and out, basically. So thank you for the call, Richard. I appreciate it, and that definitely gets you in the drawing for the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate as well that we'll give away here at the end of the hour. 888-250-2091. Jack, let's go to Jack. Jack, thanks for holding there. How can I help you on Compute This?
Yeah, I'm moving to Arizona in about 5 months. I want to know what the best practices are to prepare my computer to move. Gotcha.
You're taking it with you, right?
Correct.
Laptop or desktop?
Desktop.
Okay. So basically, there's only one part really. Are you moving yourself, or are you shipping your stuff?
No, I'm going to take the computer and my my phone with me, my phone system. But yeah, I'm taking that in the car with me. But I am shipping a lot of other furniture. So
Gotcha. Well, if you're shipping a computer, it's different because basically, whenever you ship anything, FedEx, UPS, stuff like that, the reason they want 2 inches of packing around every side is because your box needs to withstand drops up to 3 feet on any angle, any corner. And desktop computers can get torqued when you start dropping them from 3 feet up in the air. Go figure. And so if you're going to transport it in your car, though, that's a whole different ballgame. No special packing is really needed. Of course, if there's a cosmetic finish on the case, you don't want to see any wear marks from it, rubbing on the seat, or scratches from the big screen TV rubbing up against it or something like that. Putting it in a pillowcase is fine. That's actually one of the more ingenious things we've seen in the service center with customers bringing their computers in. Any kind of box will work, but honestly, you don't need to do anything. You can just literally set it on the floorboard behind the driver's seat, and that's the safest place for it to travel. Does that answer the question for you, Jack?
Well, yeah, that's great. But what about like up data? Should I have like 2 hard drive backups and then maybe like a carbonite backup?
Well, you're never going to have me tell you have too many backups. I can tell you that for sure. So having a backup of your data is always something that is desirable. With that said, yes, you want to have a backup of your data. When a computer is turned off, the hard drive is parked. Which means those little needles that read the data off the spinning disks are on a ramp, and they're locked in place. So it's really difficult to damage a hard drive that's parked. It's if the hard drive is in use and you bounce it around, that's when things get rough. That's why you see so many dropped external hard drives coming up bad, because they were spinning when they hit the floor. But yeah, you should be just fine, Jack.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. And we're still going to put Jack in the drawing for the $25, even though he's fleeing the state. All right, number to join us, 888-250-2091. So you probably have seen this before, these notification spam, where you're sitting there on your computer and these notifications keep sliding in from the lower right-hand corner of the screen. I've had a couple calls in the last week about it because people, when they go to a website and it says, do you want to allow this website to send you notifications? And you click allow because, allow. Why not? Sure, I'm a good person. Allow. Well, then all these websites, every time they make any change or send anything, you get an update on your screen that goes whoop in from the side. So it doesn't actually make that sound. That's a Thor sound, but it's just as annoying. So anyway, when you get these alerts popping in, you have to unsubscribe to each of them individually. So if you've been going through life clicking allow for some time, you unsubscribe and it doesn't seem to matter because you get more notifications. So then you unsubscribe again and now you get more notifications. And you come to believe that the unsubscribe feature doesn't work and it becomes rather daunting. So a lot of customers have it into the service center and they say, can you get rid of those pop-ups? And we scan their computer and there's no pop-ups. There's no malware. There's nothing. But then we see notification after notification after notification and we go through and remove them all for you. Well, Google Chrome is going to start removing those notifications for you now. So Google announced today that it's going to enable its new anti-notification system in Google Chrome over the summer, which is in July, with the release of Chrome 84 on July 12th. It's version 84. Of course, if you have Secure Updater, you will receive this update automatically on your computer. Known internally as the Quieter Notification Permission UI, because that's easy to say, the Chrome component works by blocking sites from showing notification requests, which are hidden under an icon in the Chrome bar. So it doesn't pop up in your face anymore when the website wants to send you notifications. But if you want to subscribe to a website's notifications, you can click on the little icon up there and subscribe to it. So it makes it a lot easier to control those notifications. So this is going to roll out in July. However, it is available as an optional update right now in your settings. You would want to enable the, let me see this again, the Quieter Notification Permission UI. So in other words, just wait till July. 888-250-2091. We got to take our final break of the program here, guys. But when we come back, we've got Sharon and David. Your calls are coming up next on Compute This.
Now you can configure and purchase laptops, desktops, tablets, and more, all at the new SchrockInnovations.com. Check out our specials for one-of-a-kind discounts and deals. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff, and that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive. Compute This Pro Tip 423. Everyone knows you need an antivirus and firewall program for your computer, but which one is the best? Should you use the free ones, pay for a commercial product, or maybe even the free stuff your internet service provider gives you? The absolute worst thing you can do is to install nothing. Windows 10 comes with Windows Defender, but Microsoft never intended it to be your primary antivirus product. Free antivirus like AVG or Avast are more effective than Windows Defender, but Consumer Reports ranks the free antivirus products in the middle of the pack when compared to their commercial competitors. As for the free software from your internet provider, forget about it. It's designed to protect their network, not your computer. There are two products that trade the crown for best antivirus software year after year. Schrock recommends Symantec products like Endpoint, but the Russian-made Kaspersky antivirus program also does an outstanding job. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome into Compute This, where Mustafa has made my day by calling me a millennial. Whew, to be young again. 888-250-2091 is the number to join us on the program today. Ask a question, make a comment. We'll put you in the drawing for the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate there as well. Moving on through the program here, guys. Coming up on the show, we have Google's plans to release a major search engine update. This search engine update is going to completely upend web business, and that's why they're putting it off for a year. They're giving us 1 year's notice. But if you are not paying attention to this right now, you're going to get smoked, because this isn't stuff that you can do at home yourself. This update is talking about the experience of the website, the experiential factors. And that's a fancy way of saying, how fast does the website load? Guess what? If you're hosting on a shared hosting service like HostGator or GoDaddy, your website loads like garbage. You can do a test yourself. There's a great website called GT Metrics. It's GTMetrics, GTmetrics.com. And you can put your website in there and click Test My Site. And it'll tell you all of the factors about your website. And when you come up with a speed score of a D or an F, just like in school, well, maybe not for you like in school, but, just like in school, F is a fail. And if you get an F, that means Google's not going to list your website. If you don't have the secure socket layer, if you don't have a content delivery network, you have to have a real hosting provider if you have a real business website. GoDaddy is not a real hosting provider in the way that we say it. Yes, you can host with GoDaddy for $6 a month. Your website will be on the internet and no one will ever find it. Have you actually accomplished anything by saving $24 a month? When you get a real hosting provider, it's going to cost around $30 a month. But then you are one of a few on a server. And those few have the ability to add really advanced features that you can't get anywhere else. So, for example, there's a brand new business in Lincoln. Lincoln Boat Auto and RV Storage. They store everything. It's a completely indoor storage facility. It is temperature controlled. So if you have an RV, you store it there. Now they're having a problem because, of course, when you have a full concierge experience, like if you have an RV, guys, you'll know what I'm talking about here. When you're going to go camp, they pull it out, they charge the battery, they pre-cool your fridge, they make sure everything is ready to rock and roll. You come, you hook up, and you drive off. You don't have to back it in, you don't have to back it out, you don't have to do anything. You literally drop it off and they go. They've got water fill tank stations, they've got dump tank stations, they've got a robot that will wash your rig. I am not joking. Now, do you think that place costs a little bit more than storing your RV at an outdoor gravel lot? Probably, yeah. So the problem she was having is when people hear the price, they just hang up the phone and they don't even give us a chance to tell everybody about what we do. And she had a website on GoDaddy because they got burnt by another provider, took all their money for a website, didn't give them a website. So they decided to do it themselves, GoDaddy's website builder, the whole bit, which is a great thing if you're a small business getting off the ground. But when you are a concierge level service business that is charging what they charge to store a vehicle, which in my opinion is completely worth it. I store things at their facility because I found them because they're the only temperature controlled indoor facility with that level of service anywhere, and I appreciate good service. So I store my stuff there. Now, the thing is with this particular business, she needs a new website, and she knows she does. And we're going to work through this with Schrock Interactive for her because we understand if she wants to beat the other storage places in town, number one, you need a competitive advantage. So you know what we did? We went and ran the crime statistics and looked up by address her competitors. And guess what? People are getting their catalytic converters cut off of their cars. All kinds of things are happening in these outdoor storage yards. That doesn't happen in an indoor locked storage facility. Huge, right? But if no one ever finds your website, how can you take those benefits and show them to people? So Schrock Interactive is going to build a new website for them. They're going to put a content delivery network on it. That's going to speed up the content delivery network speeds up how fast things load on your page so that when you're on your mobile phone, which 60% of all searches happen there from a mobile phone, the website loads like that. Because if it doesn't, people move on and they lose the business. So there's all kinds of things and this is stuff right now that's optional. This is what you want to do right now if you want to crush your competitors. This is what we do at Schrock. That's why we rank where we do. Now, if you don't do those things next year, no one is going to see you, period. That's a difference. From right now being above and beyond, next year the above and beyond becomes the normal. And if you're not doing it, you're going to get killed. So if you're a business that's serious about your website, the time is now to talk to Schrock Interactive about getting serious about that. You can give us a call at any of the service centers and they can get you connected with Annette over at Schrock. She'll listen to you. She'll learn about your business, learn about what you're looking for. She won't tell you right off the bat, you need to do this, this, and this. Every business is different. Sometimes we can do all of our work perfectly. And if a business is just a bad business, if the business owner doesn't know how to convert leads or doesn't have a system in place to convert leads, we can help with that. But at the end of the day, you have to convert your own leads, but we can help create a system that delivers those leads to you on a silver platter so that you get the kind of people that you want to get in your storage facility. 888-250-2091. We have a full bank of calls here, so let's get going. David, I understand you had a problem in the Papillion Service Center. What happened over there in Papillion, and how can I help?
Well, you said, no failures on the safe upgrade thing, and I actually had 8 computers it doesn't matter. Anyway, one of them failed, and I did what I was told to do, and it went, if you will, blue screen. And we finally had to just turn the power off by pulling the plug.
Okay.
And it's in your shop now for BWI.
Gotcha.
And, that's 1 out of 8. The rest of them went well.
Okay, gotcha. I'm trying to find you here so I can. Is your wife's name Ginny?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. Trying to find a non-identifiable way to identify you without going on the radio and doing it. All right, ran safe upgrade. It's a 2015 holiday special with an A10 processor and a solid-state hard drive. That's 100%. So I guess they're still working on this one, so I can't tell you exactly why something went sideways on this one. But one of the things they're going to do, and it's going to take a little bit of time because it is a holiday special, David, is they're going to test all the hardware. One of the things that Safe Upgrade can't do is it can't go through and test all the memory and the hard drive and stuff. I see that you did just have it in for a maintenance checkup in February, which is only 3 months ago. So the odds of it having bad hardware are pretty small, but we're going to go through this and test everything and find out why this didn't work for you and see what we can do to restore it. Because if it was something that was caused by the update itself, then that's something that we can take care of for you. If it's something that it was caused by a piece of hardware failing or something like that, then there's a charge associated with it. But this is part of buying Safe Upgrade, is that when you purchase Safe Upgrade, you end up with a warranty. So if something like this does happen, Now, this particular issue, I was not aware of this one. So this would be the first instance of a computer that ran safe upgrades successfully. Now, I'm assuming it ran successfully from start to finish and came back and didn't reboot or didn't work after that. So we're going to address this one for you. But this is why safe upgrade. This is why I said it's like an insurance policy, because a backup wipe and install is a $300 repair. And if this computer runs this exact same update free from Microsoft, your computer is going to do the exact same thing. The update's the same update that Microsoft gives us. We just do a lot of pre-checks to make sure that your computer is ready to install it. And on a 2015 computer, Microsoft's not testing against this hardware. They only test for computers that are 18 months and older, or newer, excuse me. So David, thank you very much for the call. I appreciate you taking the time to reach out to me. I'm aware of the situation here, and I'll make sure that we get you taken care of because, I mean, that's why you purchased Safe Upgrade. 888-250-2091. Sharon, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This?
Thank you. I looked at my computer this morning, and I didn't get an email telling me that the upgrade was going to happen. Does it just go on without me even knowing? And
no, so basically...
I bought the Safe Upgrade.
When you purchase Safe Upgrade,
Windows,
who's your email provider? Is it Gmail? Or
Gmail.
Okay, that's why. It's in your promotions folder or in your spam folder.
Okay, I didn't look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I go into settings to see if it happened?
Gotcha. So
would it have happened without me even knowing that it was going?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. Microsoft does not force downloading it yet, which is why you didn't have me on Facebook saying, oh my gosh, go right now, do it quick before everything dies, because Microsoft has said they're not going to force it down just yet. They want to allow seekers to get it first, and we are technically seekers. So we're going to go out and get it because we're going to control it or install it in a controlled way. So for everybody listening, if you want to check if your computer has successfully installed the update, if you right-click on the Start menu, I know a lot of us left-click on it to open the Start menu, but if you right-click on it, you'll get more options, and then left-click on System. And this is going to open the System Control Panel, and it'll tell you the version of Windows that you're running. Most people were on version 1909 or 1909. And now you want to be on version 2004. That's the current version. So if it ran successfully, you're on version 2004. If it didn't, you're on 1909 or older. So all you need to do is log into your Schrock account and then download your Safe Upgrade software and run it on the computer. And if you have trouble doing that, feel free to reach out to us. Either call one of the service centers. We're open Saturday from 10 until 8, Sunday from noon to 5. Give us a call in the service center, or there's also during business hours a Facebook chat option on the website there. And myself or one of my staff members is always willing to help over Facebook as well to make sure that we get everything installed and running for you. Thanks for the call, Sharon. I appreciate it. Paul, you're next up on the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Yes, we purchased your Safe Upgrader for our desktop, and I did have a little bit of trouble downloading. Called in, and through Schrock Desk they were able to get that done, and they loaded it all on, and the new Windows 10 is on there.
Awesome.
I also, about 2 months ago, I purchased a laptop.
Okay.
And kind of talked to the guy down there, and he probably didn't need the secure updater because it's only it's a brand new computer and everything. I was just calling to make sure that might still be the case.
Well, no, Secure Updater is something that it's a continual need. So what Secure Updater does is, like we talked about last week on the program, Adobe released a huge update. And your Adobe software doesn't always update itself successfully. Sometimes it doesn't update at all, especially if you haven't run it recently. And then what happens is you get a PDF or something on the internet and it infects your computer because there was a vulnerability in Adobe Reader. So Secure Updater downloads and installs all of these third-party patches for you automatically. So when you get a new computer, you get a free trial of Secure Updater for 15 days. Also, when you come into the service center, if you've never had a copy or a trial of Secure Updater before, we do install a 15-day trial on there to get everything current and updated for you. But yeah, if you want to check that out, you can always take a look at secureupdater.com. It's $50 the first year and $25 each additional year to subscribe to that software, and it's highly recommended. Alrighty, so we're going to do a Schrock Desk after the program today, guys, so stay tuned. And then when the show is all done here, we'll jump back on Facebook Live. It'll be a brand new broadcast, basically, and we'll talk about all the cool stuff that we didn't get to talk about on the program. SpaceX, so cool, right? Launching first time in, since, I don't know, since Ryan in the Papillion Service Center was 6. It's the first time we've put people in space. So it's pretty awesome. So we'll talk about that. Of course, a bunch of other stuff going on we can talk about too. Richard, stay on the line, and I'll make sure I get your call off the air here before we go into the after Schrock. And today's winner is Sharon. Congratulations. You got yourself a $25 gift card, and we'll see you all again next weekend for another edition of Compute This.
Fueled by Hy-Vee, home of hot deals and hundreds of price declines. This is